Welcome once again to Unscripted TV with Tosin and
Derin.
this is the show where everything goes as the spirit flows and it is unscripted. Welcome once again, family. Derin, let's welcome our people.
Amazing. That is the watchword for Derin. It's always amazing to be here. We're excited that we're here again, and we're here to share and to, learn from you and to impact lives. So if you're ready, as we are, let's get on board.
Yes, join this girls' gist. The last episode, we're discussing about winning in waiting.
Yes, guys.
And we realized that there's a lot to be unpacked when it comes to winning in waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we'll continue again on this episode, talking about communities. What role do communities play in waiting?
Amazing. Just a quick recap of what we did last week.
Okay, cool.
Last week we talked about waiting is not the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's a season. Even while we're waiting, things are happening, right? We talked about the different seasons in the year. We talked about the spring, the winter, the autumn, we talk about, fall. And we talked about the fact that while we are in winter, it doesn't mean that things are not happening. Using the nature, like the trees, they go dry while we go through winter. Mm-hmm. However, things are happening within. They are conserving, they are preserving. And if I remember very well, Tosin, you said it is the season of, is it hibernation?
Mm-hmm.
It is a season of transformation.
Where the water tables get replenished from snow and all of that. During summer and spring, trees suck up water from the earth. But during winter, apparently the water table gets replenished.
Amazing.
So it looks like nothing is happening on the surface, but there's a restoration, there's a refreshing, there's a renewal going on down there.
Amazing. So it is a season of replenishment, right? It's a season where it's not a season where we just stay with our arms crossed and not doing anything. Things are happening and we're doing things. And last week we also mentioned the fact that while we're waiting, we are connected to our source, right? We remain connected to God. We don't want to dissociate ourselves from God. We don't want to cut ties with with God during our waiting season, because He's the one that ensures that we are strengthened.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one that ensures that we have the kind of oil that we need to continue to grow within the season. And then while going through the season, we also said that it is not the season to stop helping others. It's a season to make happen for others what you want happen to you.
Absolutely.
We used the story of Joseph. We said Joseph was in prison. He interpreted other people's story. Interpreted their dreams, of their release,
mm-hmm.
while he could not, or he did not even have, the dream of his own escape yet.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the interpreter of the way of escape for others while he was waiting in his season. So guys, it is going to be fun. I know we've got a lot of feedback from last one, and we're excited that about what God is set to do today. And today we're going to be talking about still winning in waiting. However, we're talking from the perspective of community. While we're in waiting, we need to build the right kind of community around us. Tosin.
Yeah, either you're building the right kind of community, or what role does your existing community play as you wait? What role should they be playing, and how should you, what kind of relationship, or how do you want to relate with them at that time? Is it a time to cut off? Is it a time to get more involved in community? Is it a time to open up? Or is it a time to lock up?
So while you were just saying that, I just had a picture flash through my mind
mm-hmm.
right now of, the pack of, was it antelopes or I don't know, group of animals,
okay.
Going together,
mm-hmm.
And while they were going together, they had praise waiting, should I say no? They were preys, right? The predators waiting on the sides, trying to, prey on the group of animals. But I noticed in, natural world that most animals that, got or that gets attacked, usually they're the isolated ones.
The singletons.
They're the isolated ones. So like Tosin was saying, community, while you're waiting, we have to have a symbiotic relationship with the community. What do I mean by that?
Okay.
We have to, you are making the best of your community, and you're also ensuring that you're giving your best to the community while you're waiting.
What if you don't have something to give?
So that's the way we always think. Or that's what crosses our mind, especially when we're in waiting. Like, oh, I don't have anything to give. Some people even say, oh, I'm a failure. What do I have to offer? Yes, that's failure. Teach other people how not to get into it.
So you're saying
there
you
is
should not be a leech. You should not be parasitic.
Don't be parasitic, one, and then don't think too, lowly of yourself to think you have nothing to offer. See, your life in entirety, the experience that we've had up until that moment is going to be a blessing for somebody else coming up. Could also be a blessing for somebody who is going through, because you can't see beyond your environment. You don't know who, your story will encourage. So don't think too lowly of what you have gone through. That which you have gone through is a blessing unto somebody. Take for instance the story of Mary.
Before you go into Mary, let me recap what you just said to our audience.
Super.
I think what Derin has just said is this, that while you're going through stuff, be humble enough to receive help. Because that takes a level of humility, trust me, especially when you think you've been up here, and then you're like, but be humble enough to receive help. But also think of yourself that you have enough, even in that low state, to give to others. It may not be money, it may be time, but there is saying that there's a cycle that must keep going, a give and take cycle. As much as you're taking from other people, give encouragement. If you know how not to do something, tell other people how not to do that thing. Even if you don't know how to do it yet, but you know how not to. So you can tell others, this is how not to get this done, while you're figuring out how to do it. And even if you're not there yet, you think you don't have that stuff yet, give appreciation. Give gratitude to those who are giving you help. Don't come with a sense of entitlement.
Oh my.
Don't think that, I've helped the whole world. It's time for the world to help me. Give appreciation. There's always something to give. Give a prayer. Sometimes you may not even have the strength to mouth the words. Breathe a prayer. Heave, groan a prayer. Just have it at the back of your mind that it's okay for me to receive help and also have something to give, no matter how little it is.
Amazing to say. So we always have to give. It's just that we've never really, created or accepted the opportunity to allow ourselves give. So when we're in those moments, it's not the moment for us to cover up ourselves and hide ourselves away. So what we're saying is, go out there. I don't know, maybe we're talking to somebody right now who is watching us, and you're in the corner of your room and you've cut off everybody from yourself, thinking, look, nobody's helping me. I'm in my moments right now. I just want to hide away. Hey, we're telling you, take off the cover cloth. Come out. Get out of that, depressive feeling. Come out of it. Take a bath. Go to a friend's
Dress up,
right? Dress up and find that right community. For me to say, I always want to go. I've gone through a couple things in life, but the most recent one, like we've been discussing, is about this job loss and everything. And for me, the first thing I did, was to tell myself, that I wasn't going to isolate myself, right? And I wasn't hiding what I was going through. Some people go through things and they don't want to tell other people because they want to be perceived as strong. They want to be perceived as, having everything together. No, the fact that you are in your season doesn't make you less or worse than anybody, right? You are, remember what we said about the trees. They may not have leaves in winter, but things are happening underneath. So you may not have what the world is expecting, but you are becoming. You're getting stronger. You're getting better. In that season, you are, harnessing every opportunity you have to become that person that you want to see, right? And you're also using your strength, to ensure that you are blessing others. It is actually in doing that. For me, Tosin, I got engaged with a program in my church, and that saw me for, I think I got, it ran for about 11 weeks, just being there for other people, calling people, hey, our program is next week, it gave me a sense of, a sense of purpose.
I was going to say that while you're going through and you think you need to receive, giving also, just like you volunteered your time, you volunteered attention, gives you a sense of self-worth.
Yeah, purpose.
Because sometimes we go through stuff that it looks like we're rid of all our sense of self-worth, our self-esteem is gone, we feel low, we feel down. But when you know that no matter how big I am, no matter how down there I am, I still have something to give, actually helps your self-esteem, actually helps your sense of self-worth, such that you can actually begin to look up again and know that I am enough, I am deserving of something better, and that this current circumstance does not define me.
Amazing.
This current situation does not define it's not the definition of my life.
It's
like Derin said, it's a season.
Yeah.
Seasons come, seasons go. There was a season you had a job, there's a season you don't have a job according to the definition of jobs, but it's not as if you're not working, because you're working there.
Tell me something to say.
You're working.
I am. So, and part of the work is what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
It took a bit of preparation,
you're doing in my head. I just don't, guys, you don't really need to know that, but I know what she's doing. So guys, there might just be redefinitions going on. It's not the end of our lives, right? It's really not the end of our lives.
Amazing.
I remember a time myself when people see me on stages, people see me everywhere. I had my own challenges. I know it's hard to say, but I can actually be very shy. And I have a lot of stage fright. I don't like, dog.
Tell me something.
It's the truth. But I learned that you have to do it anyway. Yeah, thank God for the support of my husband. Shout out to my husband.
Shout out to husbands out there.
Yeah, who is my backbone and who keeps encouraging me, you can do this, you got this, you got that. But the truth is, many times I second guess myself. I have fought with self-doubt, but I just go on and do what I had to do. This recording today has every reason not to happen.
Preach it.
Has every reason not to happen, but I'm here, I'm happy, and I'm happy, I'm alive. I mean, I'm bubbling again.
And you're giving back.
Because I'm happy to give my time and attention and share my experiences and share what God has put in our hearts with our people.
Amazing.
Actually, this whole idea came, I believe, from God. And we're like, we have interesting conversations. And we're like, these conversations are helpful.
We can bless others with it.
So we're just letting you into a little corner to hear our conversations, okay?
And then we're all getting blessed together, right?
And please feel free to join the conversation in the comment section. Like, subscribe our videos. Click on the subscribe button right now. Like the video. Share the videos. Send us emails. and put in the comment section what you'd like to see, what you'd like to hear from us, and please feel free to share your own stories and share your opinions. We're looking forward to hearing from you. We are also a community, right? Let's be there for one another.
That's true, Tosin. That's very true. This is a community that is growing fast. Like I told you, last week, after our last episode, we got a lot of, contributions from people, and it's been very helpful. It comes, it encourages us, right? Like we said, we're just letting people into our little corner and blessing others with it. Like Tosin has said, it's important for us to come out of our cocoon when we're going through seasons. And I wanted to start a line of thoughts about Mary, the other time, but I'll start with Job.
Okay, cool.
All right. So Job in the Bible, like you all know, we always have references from the Word of God, right? Everything we'll talk about, there are principles from the Word of God. We may not, quote scriptures, so it's not a preaching session. It's a sharing session. So like Job had a critical point in his life where he went through what we would describe as hell, right? Everything,
the major life crisis.
Everything turned around for him for the worse, as the case may be. It was like having a rock tied to your neck and you are thrown into the sea and you're just buried right in there, from what we saw from the description in Job. However, during this season, he had friends that came around. Number one, before your season, are you building community? Because it takes a lot, right? You have to be there for people. You have to show that you are available to people, not only when you're going through, but even before you go through. When people are going through their moments, are you there to support them? But back to Job, that's just, a pointer to someone that if you are not already doing it, you need to show up. You need to create your community. You need to show the community that you're there, for them. You need to show them that you are together. You are, you are supporting them. Job had his friends come over. And the Bible recorded that these friends came around and they sat with him in silence for 7 days. What was going through their mind, guys, I don't know. But they were there with him in silence. They probably, empathizing with him, or they're probably sympathizing with him, feeling his pain, and trying to show support the way they felt he needed, the support shown up, let's just keep quiet and just watch, our friend and watch what is happening to him. I want to talk in the two sides, or to say, let's talk about these two sides of the story. Job, seeing his friends around, fantastic. He must have been a good friend for him to have, some friends come over.
Every rich man has some friends.
Yeah,
if they don't like you for you, they like you for your money.
But then, sincerely speaking, when you're going through and you've lost everything and you still have people stay with you, it shows that they are real. And it's a level of realness in that friendship.
In that season, that now determines whether they are the best friends you need at that time or not.
So, at this point, like Tosin did a shout out to some of her, to her husband. I want to do a shout out to mine and, of course, my friends. You know yourselves who have been there, and look. Be proud of your friends wherever you are. Tell when they are doing well. Come, let them know. Don't just keep it in. Somebody said something recently. A friend of mine said she lost a friend, and she felt like we only celebrate people when they're gone. Celebrate your friends when you can. Back to Job's story. That was just an aside. Job had his friends, and I said we wanted to talk about the two sides of the story. Job had his friend. Must have been, the Bible says, show yourself friendly so that you can have friends. He must have shown himself friendly, and he had friends. But what about his friend that came? Because you want to talk a little about them.
So you said it came 7 days. They were quiet.
They were there.
And then when they opened their mouth,
oh my God.
Would you say that it was better for them to have kept quiet?
So, friends, what would you say?
If you're familiar with the story of Job, okay, so what happened was after the 7 days, they started talking, and they did a a profile analysis of the life of Job? Are you sure you did not commit sin? That girl, your farm, are you sure you did not go and do something? Are you sure you're not cheating?
Or it was just all about condemnation.
Yeah, are you sure you're not cheating on your wife? Oh, that business you did, you must have taken more than you were supposed to take. You see, karma, nemesis.
So that's why I felt Tosin that, when they were quiet, I was one, as in, what was going through their head?
No, I'm sure. Okay, so
they must have been asking these questions in their mind.
They were just being human. Okay, no, in all honesty, they will look at it like, this guy, we did this. What could have gone on? Why did this? And then maybe they, in their own knowledge, in their perception, they couldn't point their finger on what could have gone on. They were like, he has to beat at this guy. You don't mess up. I mean,
but guys, I'm sure that some of us have gone through situations where our friends, actually came out.
Not just friends, trusted people.
Trusted people came out to ask
Leaders,
us questions.
Parents,
are you
family
sure?
members.
Are you sure you are? Are you praying enough? Are you even fasting? Have you fasted?
Derin,
why is your case like this?
That's 7 days fast that they said we should do in church. Are you sure you don't break by 12?
And then why is your case like this? I don't know. I have gone through my fair share of some questioning, but the point is, you are not alone. We are not alone, right?
And
Job went through this. Yes.
People fail to forget that it may not be your sin. People make mistakes, let's not get that wrong. And even when you make mistakes, we still want to be kind enough to help people, because where they are in is on what they wanted or what they have prayed for, what they desired. What came to my mind when you were speaking was the guy that was born blind, and the disciples asked, who sinned? Was it his mom or his father? And Jesus said, no, nobody's saying. It was just that the name of God, that God might be glorified. So sometimes people actually go through stuff that is not of their own making. A lot of us are in things that we actually contributed to. I'm not disputing that fact, but I'm saying that sometimes could it be that that person is going through something that they know nothing about, just that the name of God might be glorified? Or it's just an exam for them that they need to pass for the next level, for the next season. You just don't know. So don't be too quick to pinpoint and say, and to be pointing an accusing figure to say, oh, it must have been that, it must have been that. Oh, look at Mary that you were going to mention.
Yeah.
She got pregnant. Oh, it must have been that she was being promiscuous. She was
How
sleeping
can a
around.
young woman of your age, be carrying a child out of wedlock?
So things happen. All right, things happen. Life can be lifing.
Even talking of Mary to say, I don't know. Maybe there are some people out there who are going through a situation that you did not, create. That didn't happen by your own, creation, right? You are asking yourself, I shouldn't have been laid off. I gave my best to this job. How come I was, my name was selected, or maybe you were pregnant, maybe you're not even a teenager, maybe you were raped. And you saw yourself, in a situation where you never planned to be. And people are questioning you. Hey, you're not alone. We're here with you, right? We just want you to know that God sees and He knows how you feel right now. And He knows that, and His love is, there for you. His love is ever there for you. So don't give in. Don't give in to those depressive thoughts. Don't give in to those, negative feelings. But allow the love of God, embrace you. And we pray that, God, you will actually feel His embrace this, at this time as you're going through the situation.
Yeah, and as we were saying, Job's community of friends, even his wife, his beloved wife, his loyal wife, his beautiful wife, his forever
Told him to condemn God.
Told him to condemn God. And sometimes I think people react because based on the fact that they are too bewildered, like whatever was going on was beyond their understanding, and then they just react, from that place.
Just saying, sorry to cut you. As Tosin was just talking, what came to my mind is you're a young lady out there, you're Christian, and you're trying to do things God's own way, right? You want, I'm trying to, pick my words here. I'm keeping myself for the right man, right? And it seems as if the right man has not, has refused to show. The more you try to, keep yourself or to tell yourself that you're waiting for the right person, the more you keep seeing, wrong kind of people.
And they're like,
men and then your friends are telling you that, hey, what is wrong with you? You don't even know how to keep the men in your life. If you want to have a good man, you need to be able to do, things that they are doing, sleeping with, men and everything or whatever. Hey, we're not condemning anybody, but we're trying to let you know that, God is with you. God is with you, and your break is just at the corner. That right man for you is right there. He's coming to you faster than you can ever imagine.
So please wait.
Keep waiting.
Wait, and you will win in your waiting.
Oh,
okay?
Amazing.
So sending you e-hugs. And so we got you, sis. We got you.
We feel
Just
you.
wait.
We feel you.
Yeah.
So back to our, story, the community. So if you are friends to somebody who is going through, please remember, all right?
Be kind.
Remember to be kind. If you don't know what to say, pray in your breath for this person. Just hold their hands. And then when you are with somebody who is going through, you may want to also ask them to say that, how do you want to be comforted at this time? Right? Don't just assume you know. Sometimes what we are carrying or coming with, the experiences we're carrying with, may not tally with the experience of the person you're trying to empathize with. So ask them, how would you like to be comforted? What are the things that you would, like me to do in this time, with you? So it's very important. So using Job, choose your community. And when you're choosing your community, if you have a community who has been negative or who has, been, impacting you negatively, please do not feel overwhelmed. Do not feel alone. Job went through it, but he came out of it. The Bible says that Job prayed for his friends.
No, before his restoration, he had to pray for
them.
friends.
And he got it.
After he prayed for his friends, that he had a double, a double fold restoration. And we're also saying that in all of these things, when people are down or they're going through, please don't be condescending in your words. Some people are downright condescending in the name of giving advice. In the name of helping you diagnose your problem.
Yeah.
They are downright condemning, condescending, and using mean words. Let's be careful. Because it is their turn today. You don't know if it's going to be yours tomorrow.
Because the Bible says when you go through, not if you go through. When.
So we're not still going to experience the same thing that they are going through. But everybody, life is in cycles, right? Everybody has their up and down moments. So be kind, be gentle, even in correction. Do it in love if you must correct.
Amazing. Do it
in love. Do be gentle, okay? Because they're already beat. They're already feeling condemned. They're already, they've already said all the nasty things to themselves. Trust me. The way the mind works, they've already overanalyzed the issues themselves. So they don't need you helping them to analyze them for them. Except you're throwing light that can help them get out of the situation. They didn't need you to overemphasize and keep flogging the same dead horse over and over and over again. Can you proffer solutions? Then proffer. If you cannot offer solutions, then maybe you should keep quiet. And like them said, ask them how do they want
to be helped.
To be helped. Yeah. Sometimes people don't even need you saying stuff to them. They just need a good bowl of soup.
Tell me something about that.
Sometimes people are going through and you think like,
and all they need from you, Tosin, is just a ziploc of spice.
Of spice? No.
Some of spices, Tosin just brought some to my house, and I just wanted you guys to know that we rock in these things. We're not just preaching what we don't do. We believe in these principles that we are sharing, and we're also, putting them to practice, right? Mary found herself in such a ridiculous situation. Found herself with a child that, she never asked for, she never presented herself to get, she never prayed for, But then she had to, even though she knew it was God, she had to find a community to be able to stabilize her sanity.
I'm sorry, Derin. you're hitting a very important point. Sometimes community is not a large group of 100, 20. It just be one person that is in your corner.
That season, yeah.
One person who you have in your corner at that time. Because I don't blame Brother Joseph. He just couldn't understand how this girl that will not allow me kiss her is turning up
pregnant.
She felt pregnant.
No, she's not even saying I'm seeing somebody else. She actually came to me to tell me she's pregnant.
How is that happening?
And then she now wants to call me a dumb, right? And says, "Oh, no man touched me."
Play fast one on me. So I don't blame Joseph for not seeing it, or being in her corner immediately. But the guy fell in line, after a revelation, it took a divine intervention, and God had to guy,
my guy,
this one, I did this.
Am I picking?
So, but there was Elizabeth, an older woman, who could relate because she is going through something unspeakable herself. Well, she's going through a season that people would also be like, how is this happening? People are giving her the bombastic side eyes, so what's going on here?
How did it happen?
How? So she could relate, she understood, and that was who Mary needed at that time. And she was instructed to go meet with Elizabeth, an older woman who was in her corner, understood her, and they went through that season comforting one another.
So we're saying that, biblically speaking, to say it's okay, the Holy Spirit guided Mary to go to Elizabeth, right?
Yeah.
Your cousin Elizabeth is also with child, so is also going through what you're going through. So you can get comfort from this person.
At this point, if you have the permission, we can share our story.
Please go ahead, baby.
Because I just realized that our story is actually very similar with this biblical story. Just realized. I've been nursing in my mind and asking God, how can I serve you in this season? How would you want me to, be a blessing? And then here I was in church. There's always this cool, fine, gentle lady who the whole world loves. And everybody rallies around. What a gentle girl.
Yeah, indeed, Tosin. Yeah, we see that. We can see who is gentle, right?
Okay, so
she's all touch of gold.
This Sunday, just as I was entering the church building, she was going in front of me. And then Holy Spirit was like, talk to Derin. I'm like, I don't even know her that well at that time.
We just met.
We just met. But I was like, talk to Derin. I was like, okay, I don't even know what to say. Then I went into the service and we were praying. She was sitting just a few seats behind me. And all through the service, all I kept hearing in my mind was, share your vision with Derin. I think you should take it from there.
And as Sister Tosin here,
please,
our gold up sister here, who feels nobody, Derin is the one. She's all gold up and she's everybody's friend, and she's a super coach also, I want you guys to know that also. She's a super coach. You can see from the way she talks, and she encourages, during our talks and everything. So back to our story. I was in church. As I got into church, I came into church with a burden in my heart to speak with Tosin. Why don't you talk to Tosin about this YouTube thing? Why don't you talk to Tosin about this talk show? And I was like, okay, but Tosin, like she said, I really do not know how she's going to take this. We just met. And then we happened to sit together. She sat 3 rows ahead of me. I was behind her, so I kept seeing her during the service. So the impression kept coming during the service and kept on and on. And then after the service, we didn't know. She was having her moment. I was having my moment, just like Mary had her moment and Elizabeth was having her moment. And then after the service, the usual meet and greet. So I was like, hey, Tosin, and I have something. I was like, ooh. Okay, who wants to go first? Okay. This is what God laid upon me. I said, oh, guess what? That's what I've heard throughout the service also. And that's how this whole thing, of us coming together, the Unscripted TD started.
So I had a burden. I didn't know she was having excessive burden, and we could whisk it away and say, well, I don't really. And truly, we just met, like a week or so before then.
Couple of days before that.
Before then, yeah, we really just met, and then see how the Holy Spirit brought us together. I just used that to buttress the fact that yes, when you're a Christian or you're a Spirit-filled Christian, you can be led of God to know who is going to be your champion, your encourager, your catalyst, your helper, your listener, who to go to in that season.
And then,
so they may not be your regulars.
It may not be the pastor.
It may not be that's what I'm saying. They may not be your regulars.
Yeah.
They may not be your pastor, your existing coach, your sister, your mother. They are great people.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's just that in that season, there's someone that God probably has appointed who is also going through the same thing that heaven has knitted you and has yoked you together to achieve and to go through that season together.
Amazing.
Just like Mary and Elizabeth. They were not in the same age bracket, right?
Mm-hmm.
She even had to commute. She had to travel.
Yeah, all the way to Elizabeth's place.
So, and she didn't even know Elizabeth was pregnant. So truly you can be led to who. We're asking you now to ask God in this season, who is my champion? Who is my
Who is my Elizabeth?
Yeah, who's my co-pilot?
Who is my Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Derin, for that.
Who is my
Elizabeth in this season?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we never know, maybe something as fantastic as this might just be born through your season, born through you, and in that season that you think that you're going through, you're having a burdensome time. So that's that. Now, I was going to say something else again, that in getting or being involved in a community, also look out for people who are firelighters and not the ones that will turn off your fire.
Talk of firelighters, Tosin. We just want you to know that we got our first support. As you see, thank you, Haviva Creations. Haviva Creations decided to grace us with these mugs. And we just want to say a big thank you to Aviva Creations. And if you want to brand your items, t-shirts, they do a whole lot, small hats, and especially there's Father's Day coming, okay? Check on our bio, you'll be able to see their link, and they can, just link up with them on Instagram. Thank you, Aviva Creations.
So,
lights up.
Please feel free to partner with us in any level, in any way. We're here to give a shout out to you and to spread the word to our community. So yes, we're saying that firelighters in that season, there are people who will make the baby in your womb leap. Whose voices will make the baby in your womb leap. So find them, prayerfully find them. And there are some who, the little light that is left in you, they're ready to turn it out with the words that you speak.
And run away from them.
Be sensitive enough to know. It doesn't matter how, like we're saying, whether they are, not to say that you won't find comfort among your regular people. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying that sometimes you might need to look beyond the regular, because they've seen you, they know you, they're going through it with you, so they also need help themselves sometimes. Some of us, even in marriage, when a family is going through stuff, I heard a story of a couple, or I read about them, and they have a special needs child. We're all on different levels of faith. And they began to question God, why are you trying us with this? Because it became really challenging for them. Financially, time, and all of those things. So the women, as we are, picked herself up quickly, and then she had sisters fellowship, she had Bible study community, she had people, community, mother-in-law, sister, that could help her, and she picked herself up and said, okay, this is what we are faced with, how do we navigate it, what are we going to do about it? So she went on, but the husband became he was aloof, he became distanced, he wasn't talking to people, he even stopped going to church at some point. And the wife got angry. She got angry that this is not a time to be angry with God. This is time where we all to pray and put our hands together and work together as a family. What she didn't realize is that we process things
differently.
He had questions that needed to be answered. And as a guy, all he had been doing was go to work, make some money, make the family okay. And the family has been his community, his closet. But the family now has become a thorn in his flesh. Has become a challenge. So where he usually finds comfort has become a place, a thorny ground, as it were. Not because it's a child's fault or the wife's fault or the husband's fault. It's just the way life is. So he took a counselor to help the woman realize that this man needs a community. You have a community where you onboarding and you offload and they help you and they rally around you, they support you. He needed an outlet.
He needed an outlet.
So what they did was to look for other couples who had special needs children. And when they began to share, the boy was like, oh, so I'm not crazy for feeling this way. Oh, so I'm not the only one going through. And before you knew it, the guy began to lighten up. His mood changed. He became a better person and became supportive of the house.
Talking about that just, came to mind right now. I have, a friend. Raising kids can be a bit challenging sometimes. I remember I was discussing a couple of days ago, weeks ago, that we're talking about, I was worried about the fact that the boys were not, cleaning their room. They were not doing it. You keep telling them the same thing over and over again. And then I just mentioned to you, and you said, guess what? I'm right in my boy's room. I'm even helping him. I've told him not to do this. So it just made me feel like, there's nothing wrong with me, right? There's nothing wrong. And a lot of times I discuss with my sister-in-law too. I would always go to her and say, hey, she has grown kids too. Like, Simon is doing this. What am I supposed to do? And she's like, he's perfectly normal, right? And then hearing that gives you a level of comfort. It lifts up whatever burden or concern that you were carrying before, and that's what I believe has happened to that man, being in the community of people who are currently going through. Just like I was saying, that actually gave me a level of comfort knowing that, the kids, are not out of the world, right? They're not weird, it's just, everything, the same thing cuts across everybody. And I believe that that's the same feeling the man that we're talking about must have had, knowing that, I'm not the only one going through this. There are other people going through the same situation and they are thriving. They are living, right? And so it's important for us to find our Elizabeth. For me, my Elizabeth was Tosin. My Elizabeth was my sister-in-law at some point. Finding the Elizabeth in your season is very important. Somebody who can, identify with what you're going through. Somebody who understands you. Somebody who is themselves going through things or they've gone through things and you can learn from them. It's very, very, very important.
Somebody whose voice lights your fire, not the one that extinguishes your fire. Someone whose voice makes the baby in your womb leap. Not the one that makes you feel condemned, relegated, or depressed. So we are saying that look for voices that activate you or that help you navigate the season successfully. Whether they be in church, whether they be in your school, whether they be friends, whether they be people you don't even know before. But Derin said something very important, that make sure that whatever relationship you're drawing from, you've deposited in it. Don't be a leech, don't be a parasite, don't be transactional, be transformational. Love people genuinely. As you take, be willing to give back. It's okay to receive. It's okay to be humble enough to receive help. Sometimes we all need help, right? But it's okay also to know that you have to give something back.
Don't wait till you get into your season to build relationship, right? Don't wait till your winter comes before you start to run around to buy your winter coats.
It makes sense what you just said. Like my son, we have some conversations and it was like, he doesn't know whether it's better for him to marry before he blues or to before he gets married. Because he wants to know.
I love such discussions, right?
We want to know, will the person love me for me? And then he's like, okay, if I get married, will I be able to concentrate on all the blow? And I'm like, can we take it one step? Let's finish
one day at a time.
Let's finish this school thing first, So, but just to say that sometimes you want to know the kind of people you want to get involved with in your season because they don't know where you're coming from. Sometimes people who know where you're coming from are better able to comprehend where you're going, and sometimes it may even be the thorn in your flesh. So it depends. You have to listen and discern by the Spirit and know who should be with me in this season, who should not be with me in this season. Like we said, as we're rounding off, that even Jesus knew when to withdraw from his apostles. So know when to withdraw and know when to stay with the right people that will fan your flames and will help you navigate your seasons.
Amazing.
Did you have a final word?
Hey guys, we've said a whole lot of things. We've talked about Joseph, we've talked about Mary, we've talked about, different characters from the Word of God that have gone through situations and they stayed through. And they were able to stay through because of these principles that we have shared with you. Stay connected with God, right? Be the change in people's lives. Communicate, with people. Let people be don't feel like a superstar. And bottling in your emotions. Find an outlet and then create a community before you need one. Create your community before you need one. And believe me, going through the season, you will be able to win even while waiting. So keep winning in waiting.
We love you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, share this video with people you know would like the message, and please feel free to drop your comments in the comments section below.
And we love feedbacks too. We love feedbacks. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know how you see
us. That's how we do better.
Yeah, we will welcome feedback because it helps us get better. So we're saying from us to you, this is, Kid.
So we come your way again. We love you. Shout out to you. You're doing amazingly great. Like Derin said, amazing is that word. But borrowing from him, you are doing amazing. Pat yourself on the back and say, you try. I say, let me speak pidgin here. You did try, I beg. You did try. For you to be going through all of this, and you're still standing and you're looking for, you still have a hope. You have an ignition of hope to win.
And you're watching us.
Thumbs up to you. We love you. You're doing great. And until we come your way again, remain blessed.
Keep winning and waiting.
Bye.
Bye.